Okay, everybody, good evening. About to go live here. We are set up. Let's not make this last any longer as I click all of these buttons. All right. That is definitely not the voice of God there, XO. All right, here we are with like two of us. That's an interesting look. Huh.
That don't look right.
Yeah, that's definitely what I wanted to have happen. Watch this, everybody! Ta-da!
Okay,
Yeah.
that's better.
At least I've learned how to fix shit like that. Like, in a like the first time we did that, it took me like 5 minutes to figure out what the fuck was going on. Oh. But everyone did just see my background that you guys all see. Like that background there, the war room from War Games is what all the people on the video chat with me that are doing the show see. They don't see the this is fine one. Yeah, well, like OBS is it's like Discord or any of these other kind of new technologies. I mean, even though OBS is like 10 years old, it's still like there's too many things. There's too much. There's too many buttons.
I remember. I didn't give OBS the time of day for a long time because I remember OBS before it was OBS Studio.
Yeah, when it was just
And
literally
OBS,
that
OBS
Linux app.
it was a hunk of crap.
Oh yeah, early on.
Pretty much your go-to was either pirating a copy of Wirecast
Yep.
or what was it, XSplit.
Yeah, and they were
Yeah.
both great tools, just expensive. Well, for me, anyways. I had no money. I mean, which you know very well. You know that life.
Yes, I do probably look a lot more rested.
Yeah,
Thank
this
you.
guy slept. It's a miracle.
I
And I
slept a
actually
lot.
did that right for the first time. Like, instead of having to do the whole oops thing. I'm getting the hang of the stage left thing.
Well, over the last handful of days, I've slept something like 60 to 70 hours. That's the depression.
Well, yeah, but you know what's great about that depression is right after 60 hours of being awake for a 48-hour stream and then the pre and post, awakeness, like that plus you're gonna get a lot of good sleep out of that. Yeah, no, depression sucks. We all have it. It's all how it is.
Yeah, I didn't leave my bed for about 3 days.
You got some. Well, you also earned it though because you streamed 3 full days of stream time in like 6 days.
I slept through Friday.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Chat knows because
my alarm was going for 8+ hours straight.
like 5 minutes before show, I was in chat like, "Hey, so Kurt, I think might still be asleep." And then Ruby stepped up and was like, "Let's go." So and that was kind of great because it was timely. We did want to talk about some of the British stuff that was going on and the Irish stuff. Depending on which side of that fight you're on. Whew. So yeah,
Gotta
Ruby,
have a
how
day
about
off
that?
every once in a while.
Right. Yeah, So tonight is episode 50. I'm not showing it, but I do have quite the headache. It just doesn't want to go away today. I've tried everything.
This is water, by the way. This isn't tequila. I like the bottle, so it stays cold.
Yeah, I've tried everything, including water. For the first time in a while, I drank a couple glasses of water. It's been
This, on the other hand,
a long time. Yeah. The headache just won't go away, so whatever. It's show 50. I've got to do it. Like, how can I not? I also didn't want to, do show 50 without Kurt. Like, that didn't make any sense to me. Like, you've been in almost half the episodes, I think. Like, somewhere around there, right?
yeah, that's crazy. Time flies.
I'm loving it, dude. This has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed getting to know you, getting to actually hang out, all the chats we've had, all the stuff we've been able to talk about, the stories we've been able to tell to the chat that they've really enjoyed. Like, it's been great, man.
Indeed, it really has been. It's been a weird year.
Right? You came out of nowhere with a flash, man. I mean, I knew you were hiding back there somewhere, but like publicly, like, oh my god. And I remember when that happened to me, and I didn't choose for it to happen. So like, I remember this shit. Like, those first few weeks are hell.
If I was gonna if I was going to effectively combat the whole QAnon bullshit, like I had to do things a certain way, realistically.
Right?
So on top of that, I'm finally clearing the air on a lot of kind of gnarly history. This is
Yep.
important for my mental health, really.
Which, I mean, mental health is, I mean, everything at this point, with people like us. The rest of my health is all kinds of crazy right now. But I am getting the vaccine 2 days, Wednesday.
Congratulations.
And
Over here in Canada, they're still completely dropping the ball with the rollout of the vaccine.
the state has dropped the ball pretty bad here, but out of nowhere, the city I'm in actually stepped up and handled it themselves and had a registration for everyone in the city to like get it, and they had their own batch, so like great. And I was signed up for the Johnson & Johnson one shot, which I was really hoping for because I don't want to go back. I don't want to have no. I got an email today saying no. We ran out of the Johnson & Johnson. You're getting the 2-shot Moderna one, so see you again in a month. So I guess I've got a 2-shot one coming instead of the one I was hoping for. But I have also been told that the efficacy of the Moderna one's a little higher. I mean, it's like percentage points or something. I'm sure there's someone in chat who might have just highlighted a message who could tell me if that's right or not. But yeah. So there is,
there was a talk on Red Team Village that I just found out about today.
Yeah.
Joseph Men did a talk on hacktivism, and
oh boy.
Yeah. I came up more than I expected to in that discussion.
Have you talked to him much? Because like I recommended he talk to you a couple times. Like he kept reaching out to me, and I was like, Kurt seems to be able to withstand the idea that a lot of our friends don't like a person and still deal with them somehow and make it work. I'm not talking to you anymore because like the amount of people that don't like you near me is large enough that I just don't want to deal with it. Like I don't need that in my life. But Kurt seems to be able to handle that shit, so go talk to him.
Yeah.
Not to like dump shit on you, but like you seem to handle that well, so.
Hey.
Well enough.
Sometimes it's easier than others. Sometimes it's like people aren't going to give me shit because, well, I'm kind of my own thing.
You really are. You really are.
Yeah.
I was there for all the shit that he pulled, like way back when. So like, I'm kind of looked at as you were there firsthand, though, so you shouldn't. You know what I mean? But anyone who wasn't, who he didn't do shit to back then, like I can understand dealing with him, right?
I was kind of an asshole.
It's not like he's Glenn Greenwald.
Yeah, I'm glad. I am glad that that I have grown up, or matured, and gotten to the point where I'm at. It's also very interesting being someone working within the ethical space right now.
Yeah.
It could, because there are some people that are considering my tack with disclosure or sometimes lack of as a bit of disruptive hacktivism within the bounds of the infosec sphere. So,
well, you're doing it different, and different never sits well with the established people, right? You're not doing the complete perfect ethical disclosure process where sometimes people never even learn about it, but you're also not just dumping shit day one right there with breach data and PII and everything else, right? So like you're somewhere in that middle ground, which is a better place to be, I think.
Yeah, I just want people to stop being so fucking scared of corporate lawyers, really.
Seriously. I mean, ask Sony how their corporate lawyers did for them after the first, second, and third hack. All due to corporate lawyers telling them that they could afford not to do the security work. Yeah. Good job, corporate lawyers. So
that HBO documentary.
Yeah, let's talk. It went to interesting directions. At first, I was as upset as you are because I don't like seeing my friends get screwed over in the way that, like, I've done enough recording and signed enough releases and asked enough times, is this going to be used or not, to know when someone didn't know that what they were doing was going to be shown to the world, and you were not told beforehand that call was footage for the show.
No,
But
hold on. I need to go get some more water. My throat has been bothering me today. So, I'm sorry.
go.
Sorry. Just give me a minute here.
Yeah. Get more. Hydrate. We've got like a thing for that. Somebody did it already. All right, chat. So yeah, I don't know. I've always enjoyed his version of disclosure. No, it's oh, you wanna do call-ins? Okay. I don't know when you can call in. I guess. I mean, I kind of set it up, but I haven't tested it out. It should. My loopback audio thing that's supposed to bring the audio from any app I choose and put it into the stream and also into my headphones is set to capture from Discord now. If I flip a switch and say now Discord, so like if we were in a room on Discord together or in like a private chat, it would probably work. I think. I don't know. I would like to test it out before we just like, fuck it, I'll do it live. Just one of those kind of things. So why don't we test it out if you want, Amanda? Like maybe tomorrow or something. We'll see if it works. I'll do the recording, but not the live part. Because this can record and not go live. Because OBS does all kinds of cool shit now. Yeah. So just be alone now with the world. Every time I get on camera and like the other people aren't around or they've wandered off or anything, I always feel like a serial killer at the end of Hackers. Just like whoa. I love that image too. But I don't have their secret bank account numbers right here, so like I mean, I am missing out on a piece of it. Yeah, I've seen OBS Ninja a while ago, but I completely forgot to actually really look into it. I'll look into that too. I mean, the Discord one was kind of already set up by the person who set up all of that fun stuff in Discord, which still to this day confuses me. Like, without a few of the mods here, like Tucking Vipos, like Budo, like Doxy, like really Doxy, thank you so much. The Discord wouldn't be working half as good as it does, because one, I broke a few things. They fixed them. I don't know why Discord confuses me so much, but like it really does bother me. Like I think it is literally my age showing. Like I'm so used to simple chat platforms, and I spent so many decades on much simpler chat platforms that this one it's too much. Oh my god, it's too much. And he's back.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
One of the few times I actually feel perched.
So what we were talking about was, of course, you HBO. in the HBO show, and I was saying that I kind of felt for you at first because, you hadn't agreed initially to just have that initial footage that looked like he woke you up with the phone call kind of a look. You normally do a little better with your look and feel and your presentation than that, even the angles of that shot, right? So I felt like, you're getting fucked. But I gotta say, no matter kind of how you feel on this one, which I do care about, the last few episodes edited really well in your favor. Like, I mean, they really made you look like the hero of that part of the story.
Yes. Now,
which is true. I'm just, I'm not saying it was bad edits. I'm saying like,
yeah. So the real problem was how they downplayed the child exploitation domains.
Yeah, they tried to distance him from them. Like, I don't know what Cullen's angle was there.
Yeah, trying to frame it like Frederick was involved when he actually wasn't. Like that whole thing, it was all just really fucking weird how they kind of downplayed that whole thing. And Mother Jones also being annoyed at how this played out. Mother Jones put out a follow-up article last week, basically explaining that no, it's not like y'all saw on TV at all.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Because there was a lot of really nasty shit there.
Oh yeah. And again, downplaying that is, that kind of leads right into another thing I wanted to mention to chat today, a lot of us will remember a couple conversations we've had about one RMS, Richard M. Stallman. He, of course, was one of the founders of the Free Software Foundation, one of the founders of a lot of free software projects going back to the 80s. I mean, he's prolific and he's done a lot, and a lot of people do get a lot of use out of tools that he helped give us, and that's all well and good. However, he's also
doesn't give him carte blanche to be a shitbag.
He's also a complete piece of shit who likes to apologize for pedophiles and say things like, actually having that content doesn't lead to the creation of that content, so people shouldn't get in trouble for having it. He also has been written up by MIT and a bunch of other places for harassing students, for he has been kicked off the board of the Free Software Foundation for all of the bad things he's done, and they just put him back on the board. He has been reelected to the board of the Free Software Foundation to yells and screams from the audience, basically. I mean, there are news articles about how bad he has been and the things he has done. And finally, for the first time in since 2003, when I first started yelling and screaming, that no one seems to have noticed over here this one little sentence that he hit on his website where he apologizes for pedophiles. Finally, news articles, coverage, people on Twitter are covering the fact that he did that. And it's taken this freaking long for me to see anyone actually cover that. And I don't know if you all remember, but I've been screaming that for 20 years. Fuck that guy. RMS is a piece of shit. So I'm not quite sure why the FSF felt the need to bring him back. The only possible thing I can think of is he has something over them. Like, what does he know that can't get out? Like, that's all I've got.
Really makes you think.
Yeah, like, what does he know? Because
I don't want to.
Yeah, because that's some bullshit. RMS, if any of this ever reaches your ears, I hope you get hit by a bus. Thanks for a lot of the GNU stuff you did, but also I hope you get hit by a bus still,
Yeah, can we replace that whole part of the Linux user land? Can we make that happen?
No. It's got to be a bus, because I really want it to the whole body to smash, like one of those flat buses, the city buses, the really quick to take off electric ones, where I want it to be going fast too. It's the same argument I've had with other people, including Moot. I had this argument with him on stage in front of an audience at RaffleCon once about what type of bus I wanted to run him over. It's just it's a bus. For me, it's a bus. Yeah, okay, we can go there. Maybe we wait until the buses are autonomous, so the driver doesn't, feel this one later. Ugh. White Lives Matter organized for weeks online in private chat rooms to have an event on the 11th, yesterday, nationwide, all over the place. And the things we learned were because most of their private chats were actually not set up by then, and instead were set up by lefties, then inviting them into them, if you're going to organize this, you got to have a chat channel, and then they were logged and then released to the press or posted online. So down in New York, a good friend of the stream here was actually the one who ran the chat channel for them on Telegram, so he could log everything and then send it to the press. Because, it's just, they're gonna get one up either way, might as well get the logs, right? It's not like he was providing something that they weren't going to provide themselves. Setting up chat channels is not a hard thing. They're just not good at organization. Well, it turns out this happened in 6 cities where some lefty actually set up their organization channel. So the press has a lot more logs to be digging through, and I think that's hilarious. But the funnier thing was how few of them showed up. So a good example is here in Boston. We found out that they were actually going to show up in my hometown of Malden, just north of the city, 5 minutes north of Boston, still on the trains and everything. So we showed up just before they were supposed to at Malden Center, and they basically drove on by, decided not to get out of their vehicles and do anything, and went to a second location, to which we mostly beat them there too, because they're not smart with their communications, and I don't care if they hear this, because they're not smart enough to do anything about the fact that they now know they're not smart with their comms.
Exactly.
So, have fun, guys. But, so we beat them to the second location, and then there they stayed for all of 2 minutes and ran off. Finally, they ended up in Wakefield, where it's like a small town way outside of Boston, and it's just like, they spent like half an hour standing on a street corner that had like 4 cars pass it. Like, cool. Well done, guys. But just, we aren't like unique in that. Like, all weekend, like, they were driven away from every major city. One of the cities in, I believe it was North Carolina, the White Lives Matter people came outside, went out to the public square, lasted like a minute and left, and then the Antifa kids pulled out a banner that said, "We accept your surrender," and walked around town with it, because they were there for like a minute. It's just, it was kind of funny to see how big of a failure their supposed nationwide event was. I don't know that it's a sign of more and more of them being driven, back into hiding like they used to be long ago.
I think that's the case.
I would hope. I would really hope. I think January 6th was kind of a moment for them where they realized we're all going to get arrested. And then, of course, the things like Adamwoff and all getting arrested and stuff like that is, I'm sure, helping. But I would think bigger than that is all the anti-fascist efforts to dox them, cost them their jobs, to really, like, make life hell for anyone who chooses to publicly have that lifestyle. I'm
Except for the mainstream grifters.
Yeah, except for the ones with good financial backing. The one thing that I'm really happy about with the term grifter is that a lot of other terms you can call people, like, are gendered in a way where using it is, insulting to a specific gender or to a sexual orientation or even to a race. Like, there's not many good insults for that type of a person that don't have other problems, right? But grifter, you can just fucking call anyone a grifter. Like, that explains exactly what the fuck they are. I'm glad we have a term to really just describe them. It's nice. It's nice to just have that perfect word for what people like Andy know are, right?
Yep. The term does kind of get overused. But what doesn't, right?
Right, but it also has become like the norm on the right at this point. So, I mean, it's not, I don't know that it's getting overused. I think they're all grifters.
Okay, I'm not saying on the right. I'm just saying overall.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Like it's depending on what spaces of the internet you're in, grifter has become somebody I don't agree with.
Is it losing meaning because of it? Is that kind of a thing happening?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, don't take that word from me, you bastards. I have liked that ever since the John Cusack movie, aptly named.
Somebody in chat asked, how do we do work-life family balance? What is that? I don't know.
Yeah, work-life family balance is a tough one. Luckily, especially pandemic related, but I've worked from home for a very long time. I mean, nearing a decade now. So I'm always here with the kids, my wife. We're all around hanging out. A lot of times, sitting right next to me there will be one of them, even though you can't see it because of the screen. So our balance is kind of interesting in that we get to just kind of hang out all day with each other anyways. So that helps some. But I do have to pull myself away from the computers every now and then, especially with Minecraft starting to really like just own my mind. Like it has like a grip on my soul now. I can't wait to get you addicted to it.
Oh boy.
You will not leave Minecraft for a week. Like, if you're gonna make a week-long one and really set that record, it's gonna be Minecraft. When you start playing it, you won't even realize it's been a week. You'll be like, I'm not done with my redstone machine, though.
Oh boy.
You are gonna like redstone. So, let's talk about that. For the last few weeks, yes, it is that addictive. Like, oh my god. I do not I do not know it is that addictive. But for the last few weeks, Kurt here has been streaming like mad, like an absolute insane person. So basically, like the rest of us. You know, the first one seemed almost accidental, but from there on, it seemed very well planned. Like you were seeing how long you could go for obvious reasons.
Definitely not doing that tonight, for sure.
Yeah, there. Well, one, you gotta make some money show up, so don't do that one. Definitely. Yeah, because you've got all kinds of stuff coming. But what I wanted to ask.
Well, we'll talk about. We'll get more into detail about that on Friday.
Yeah, totally. We'll talk about all that on Friday. There's a lot more to talk about. You are gonna stream after this show, though, right? Just a little.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
I am.
so when we end this, we're gonna raid Kurt and we're gonna go all over there and watch that. But what I wanted to ask is, with these, I mean, they're 48 hours because Twitch kicks you off, but you can restart at 48 hours. But what I want to know is, with these 48-hour streams and you at some points being up 60, 70 hours to pull them off, do you have plans to actually like work your way up to that record? Because I mean, it's like 150 hours or something, right? It's somewhere up there.
I'm feeling nauseous just thinking about it.
That's not a good sign, then.
I mean, yes.
But, or are you feeling nauseous because you are actually planning to do it and you think it's crazy?
Actually, I don't even know why I'm feeling queasy.
I'm not encouraging you, by the way. I think this is fucking nuts. I'm just asking because I want to know.
Oh no, I'm just kind of winging it, really. Oh boy, if I end up hurling on camera, this is going to be really bad.
Well, hey, I mean, people will clip it and it'll be saved for all eternity. You know how that works.
That I do.
All right. Well, let's see where that one goes. That's just gonna go where it goes because it seems like you just start streaming and then sometimes it just goes that long. All right. So, technology side of things. Microsoft today, it was announced for $19.7 billion. $19.7 billion has acquired Nuance. The makers of Dragon Dictate and Dragon Naturally Speaking, which means Microsoft now has the best, longest running, still around voice recognition, dictation software, and natural language engine that exists, with a team of some of the best scientists in that space. I don't know that I'm happy about that. I don't really need Microsoft being any better at that one thing. I just think, now I didn't have to install Dragon or any of these other tools that are that good, and I disable the hell on a Windows machine. Cortana gets disabled as all hell, and even like host file blocks and all the telemetry stuff and just everything I can do to stop it. Now they're going to be 10 times better at listening to my mic and knowing what's going on. Not a fan about that.
No, thank you.
Not really happy about this one. I don't know about anyone else, but that sounds like a bad idea for me. Yeah, well, Cortana's about to get a hell of a lot better, Tucking Fipos. Yeah. Oh my god. So that one is just killing me. But like, mad props to just Dragon Dictate itself for existing for so long and being so early and so good early.
Still in existence.
Like, I know some people in chat know this, others don't, but my sister had cerebral palsy. And so I grew up with my sister, in a wheelchair, with her fingers kind of, disabled in a way where it's very hard for her to type. And, but she was a super intelligent person. I mean, she 4.0 through a degree from college and everything. Just using a computer was really hard for her. And we got her on Dragon early. I mean, this was like mid-90s when it was finally good enough that like it could work with her patterns of speech. And sure, it took her way longer to train than, now you don't even have to train Siri, because they've trained it on so many millions of hours of voices already. But Dragon was really amazing for that back then. It was really good assistive technology. And I wasn't even living at home by the time that it was good, but I actually flew back into Dallas to hang out with her for a few weeks and get that set up for her. And that was really awesome. And their support, like I actually got on at that point. I got on a first name basis with multiple people at their support as we got it really working well for her. So I mean, I'm kind of sad that they now belong to Microsoft, even though that's been so long, and I know no one I know, is there anymore, and I know they've been acquired once before. But still, like, it was a big thing for, for me and her getting that set up and getting her actually access to the internet in a way where she could start to type things out instead of one finger pecking, but even way slower than you would one finger peck. Like, she was like 1, 2, like that fast was her typing. So Dragon Dictate really meant the world. It was just amazing.
Yeah, back in the day when you used to have to train.
Oh yeah, she spent weeks training it to get her voice finally right. But once it was trained, I mean, and she didn't have much else to do, honestly. I mean, just disabled people do really need a lot of help with having more things to do. Well, they did a lot more back then, anyways. I mean, because we were way too poor to be able to provide a lot of outside help, a lot of stuff like that. Luckily, with Dragon, but Easter seals. If anyone ever wants to donate to something that really helps disabled people, donate to Easter seals. They were huge. My sister's first few wheelchairs, her crutches, her physical therapies, that was all Easter seals. The first computer we had in our house was through them. It was amazing. The one that I actually learned to like first use anything on was provided by Easter seals for my sister. So it was amazing. Love those people. Absolutely love them. Yeah, well, Kurt is feeling a little worse than I am, it seems. I've still got my headache.
I just need to keep going. I just need to. I'm queasy.
Yep. Sometimes it actually takes it happening. You know what I mean? Another bad thing from today to talk about, because let's talk about bad things. As of today, the richest 8 people in the world are now worth $1 trillion. 8 human beings' personal wealth has now hit $1 trillion. That number is coming down every 2 years now. So in about 2 years, it'll take only 7 of them to be $1 trillion. That is fucking disturbing.
Like,
what the hell?
Man.
So
they could blow $1 million a day every day for practically the rest of their life.
So
they wouldn't even notice.
They wouldn't notice. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but he was basically saying they could blow $1 million a day and not notice it, and that's exactly true. But historically, way back in the past, I mean, I'm talking like all the way back to like ancient Greece and whatnot, but any time periods where the wealth inequality got to this level, those people usually didn't live that long, because at that point people rose up and like got rid of the oligarchy. I don't know that our system supports us doing that because of how armed our police forces are at this point, and how military the whole system is. So I don't know what the other solution is, but I'm not against the old school methodology for dealing with oligarchy. I'm just thinking that it's probably not possible these days, and we have to have some other solution. Or at least
there was a guillotine on January 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gallows.
The platform and everything. Yeah, so we're in the middle of the trial of Derek Chauvin for murdering George Floyd in Minneapolis. And in the middle of this, in Brooklyn, which is basically a suburb of Minneapolis, St. Paul, yesterday, another black man was shot, killed, murdered by police. Now, we're in the middle of that trial, and cops are pulling their guns on people who don't need their guns pulled on them. And then today, the cops have the audacity to come out and say that, well, the cop meant to pull out their taser. Now, if you're a cop and you haven't been trained well enough to know, because like they do a thing where look at any cop who's got the taser and the gun, and you'll notice one thing. The gun is on one side and facing in a way where it's easy to grab and pull up. The taser is almost always, like this is like nationwide police training, upside down and on the other side. So like, and that's to make sure that they know which is which. And they're trained very clearly that when you're grabbing for one, it's on that side and the other's on that side. And like, no, if you like have earned your training enough to have a loaded handgun on you, then you shouldn't be able to make that mistake. Like, I don't care what arguments you have for it. No one who thinks they should be in that position should also be able to make that mistake. Not that I believe that mistake was made. I'm not buying that for a minute. A taser trigger, I don't know if you've ever pulled like one of the actual more gun-shaped tasers before, and one of the freaking, revolver or handguns, anything from the 1911s all the way up to the Glocks, but no matter which ones you hold, they feel very different, and they have a different weight and a different balance, and the trigger on the damn tasers feels nothing like a handgun. No. I don't buy that for a minute. I just don't. Now, so another black person is killed by police in Minneapolis, although, in 100 other cities yesterday probably too, but this one specifically during the Chauvin trial. And the most interesting thing here to me, or sad or disturbing, was you might remember on January 6th how the National Guard didn't show up when a bunch of white people did something. But when a bunch of, people got angry about a black person getting murdered last night, the National Guard showed up awfully quick. The National Guard sure the fuck shows up fast when it's black people.
Yeah, and everybody said that everything would be so much better after Trump, right?
That is some bullshit. Yeah. Daunte Wright, was supposedly pulled over because, he had an air freshener hanging in his car. Turns out in Minneapolis, in that state, in fact, in Minnesota, that the air freshener hanging from your mirror there is, illegal. They can pull you over for that. What the fuck?
What?
Now, the argument from the cops is once they had the person pulled over and they were looking at Mr. Wright's information, they found, an existing warrant and all this other stuff. And so that's what they were angry about and going to arrest him for. Not for the air freshener. But one, this whole event started because you pulled over a black man because of an air freshener and now he's dead. I wonder if they would have pulled over a white person with an air freshener and given shit and taken ID and looked them up. I would have expected that even if they did pull him over, they would have just said, hey, take that off. They wouldn't have gone through all of the mess of it. Now, the family and witnesses say that what happened was they pulled him out of the car. They would not tell him why. They did not tell him why he was getting arrested. And when he asked why he was getting arrested and they still would not answer is when he walked back to his damn car to drive away. At that point, like, I fully understand just getting in your damn car and driving away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, fuck the police. ACAB, Buck 12. This is bullshit. Now, yes, and then there's, of course, the fucking, Army second lieutenant, who, that one's even pop pepper sprays, Karen Nazario, and is now fired, right? And that's a great story. Shit happened wrong, cop fired. But this actually is news we're learning now. It happened months ago. The only reason we're hearing about it, and the only reason he got fired, is because the video and the news of it actually finally leaked on social media. That's it. That's the only reason we're learning about it.
Fucked up.
I don't think he gets fired if that doesn't leak.
Gotta love that accountability, huh?
Yeah, it's
What a joke.
it's absolutely horrible. Okay, there's a curfew now at 7. So curfew's already on out there. In Minneapolis, St. Paul, and surrounding areas, the counties there. Um, they did give an exception for the people currently celebrating or recognizing Ramadan. Um, so I would guess all you actually have to do is go outside and say you're celebrating Ramadan, and what are they going to do? To say you're not? I mean, I don't know. At least that was thought of, but still, fuck them. I just think that there were opportunities here if Chauvin was found guilty on all accounts, which I don't think is going to happen, but if it was, and if this event hadn't happened, there were opportunities for the next couple weeks to kind of be a slowing down and a working on legislation and a working because there's a lot of working groups that came out of the protests for the George Floyd stuff out there. When I was out there, just over a week ago, I met with a lot of people who have started actual, legislative groups who are working on bills to get through the city and whatnot. And there could have been a lot more focus on that. At this point, I think it's gonna. I don't think that city does well at the end of this trial, no matter what.
No.
As for Kurt and how he's feeling very queasy right now. Do you want to take a quick ad break here and go to the restroom, get some more water, stand up, anything, or are you good?
Yeah, can we take a quick break? I need to go get more water.
We're gonna take a quick break. Let's let Kurt take a minute here, and then we'll come back. All right?
I'm holding back this feeling that
Oh, I know that feeling.
Everywhere.
I know that feeling. That's why I'm saying we're gonna take a quick break, everyone. We will be right back as soon as I actually, I did the dumb thing, and I didn't have the dashboard up. And Kurt has told me multiple times not to do this without the dashboard up. And I guess I don't listen. Let's get this up here. All right, everyone. We will be back in a couple minutes. Give us 2.
Slow, deep breaths.
Slow, deep breaths, everybody. Let's go. All right. Kurt is back, feeling a little better, but not all the way back. We'll get there. We'll get there. When I look over here,
I don't
it's
know
either
what the hell's hitting me.
yeah. I mean, when I look over here, I'm looking at show notes or chat or one of the other things. When I look away, one of the other things I wanted to mention, just because I want to have said this live on stream. Yeah, posture check and deep breath are two things we should add. And my posture always sinks during the show. But I wanted to make sure that I said this live on air just because it's important to me. LeVar Burton should be the host of Jeopardy! And the fact that they haven't hired him yet is absolutely a travesty. The fact that he's having to beg for it is a travesty. Motherfucking Reading Rainbow, Brutes, Geordie, I mean, 3 generations of people learned from this person. And then all the other stuff he's done, the revival stuff, the big thing he did with the crowdfunded Reading Rainbow stuff. I mean, just no. Like, literally, how many people actually get the answers correct because they watched LeVar Burton as a kid? Like, I mean,
right? Like I remember growing up with Reading Rainbow.
Like, if it's not LeVar Burton, I'm gonna be angry. Personally, I'm already angry. It's taken this long for them to choose him. Like, seriously. What the fuck?
Times there was a crossover between Reading Rainbow and Star Trek was
yes,
always a fun watch.
Right. Damn straight. Yeah, I still remember the theme song, man. Like, I just that show. Well, I mean, you all have heard a little bit of my childhood. It wasn't educational in the right ways. Reading Rainbow helped a lot. Let me tell you, Reading Rainbow helped a lot. Yeah. That, and of course, the standards, Mr. Rogers and all that. But no, LeVar
Take a look.
Burton.
It's in a book. Something a lot of people can pay attention to nowadays, or should pay attention to.
Damn straight. Yeah, exactly. I mean, definitely. Yeah, the DMX remix of Reading Rainbow theme is actually freaking awesome. If anyone hasn't heard that, it's on YouTube. It's all over the place. It is freaking great. So, with that said, there is a petition. It's got hundreds of thousands of signatures. Everyone can find it. It is just, it is some bullshit that he is not already the host. Let me say that right. I mean, he's literally out there begging for it now. He's tweeting about it. Fucking Dick Van Dyke is somehow still alive and tweeted out that this man should be the host. Like, the fuck did that come from? Dude's got to be like 90. But, yeah, anyways. So let's talk about
I hope that people's movement works out for the best for him.
Right? Let's talk about the UN. So a little while ago, you, Sakura Samurai, John, the team, but you guys got a little deep into some UN fun. And very recently,
they're still cleaning up after it.
They've started to report a little on some of the damage done by other people, not you, but through all of the mess that you discovered.
Yeah, that breach was so bad that I had already I laid it out pretty plain. There's no way threat actors hadn't already had their way with this shit.
Yeah, so
it seems like they're discovering that is indeed the case.
Yeah, so the basics for chat are, Sakura Samurai found, a lot of problems in the UN systems, that literally could lead to the personal identifying information, PII, P2, however you want to say it. Everyone kind of says it different, but the PII of a lot of people, like 10,000 people at the UN, and their travel records,
itineraries.
Yeah, everything, and also just outright access to back-end systems that definitely should not be accessed by the public. And when they found it, they reported on it. They did the ethical thing. They worked on, going through the processes. And it was found that somewhere around the
They downplayed it a lot.
yeah, somewhere, and when I say it was found, this was their version of the story. It was found through early investigations that 4 to 40 gigs of data might have been accessed by threat actors through the holes that Kurt and friends uncovered once they started investigating the new holes. But it turns out that that's some bullshit, because it was well over 400 gigs of data was exfiltrated from their systems, and the exploits. Kurt, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but you go a little deeper on these things than some of the people who are then doing ethical disclosure, because you want to see where it ends. Whereas they get kind of their first into the system, and they're like, well, that's enough to report. They stop. You went farther than most, but you still didn't go all the fucking way. Like, you didn't root the hell out of the rest of their servers, and you could have kept going. At some point, you said, I've made my 20th hop sideways. Like, that's enough.
Yeah.
But what they've uncovered since the data you gave them is that other people not only got to where you got to, but went way deeper. The foreign threat actors, probably state-sponsored actors, apps from, be it Russia, North Korea, China, wherever, wherever it might have been from. I mean, is that basically how that all went down?
Yes, it seems like that's how it all went down.
Whew.
The United Nations, obviously, that's going to be a nation-state target.
It's a slow-moving organization, so your reporting, of course, exposed things for them to look at, but the second they looked at it, they instantly downplayed what they found, which was far worse than they wanted it to be.
If you go and look at the Hall of Fame, the United Nations Hall of Fame, it says that we disclosed a server misconfiguration.
Yeah, 400 gigs of data were exfiltrated. That is not we exposed a server misconfiguration. No. There
40
were
individual systems that could have gotten access to, untold credential pairs, database backups, the works.
Yeah, so if anyone out there thought that anyone in any real government position ever secured anything, they were wrong. You can always just look back to HB Gary Federal and the 5 minutes it took to root their servers, and then remember that their job at the time was to specifically help secure the web-facing, applications for our government, to see just how good the security is, because not even the people doing the security for them can secure their own shit. It's just, there's no security there. You'll always find a way in. If someone like Kurt, someone like John, Jackson, any of the people really, especially on your team, went after one of these, you're gonna get in. Whether it takes you 5 minutes or, 5 days, it's not like you're gonna get stopped. It's just how long does it take, right?
Yeah, it's all about how much management has decided to give a shit prior.
And I always like to bring that back to kind of Sony as the prime example, right? Because there were ways to secure the problems that allowed the first hack to happen to Sony that really let people into their entire network. That was a known hole. It was a known vulnerability, and they even knew they were vulnerable to it. But the lawyers said that it would be cheaper not to fix it than to deal with a breach, so let's just leave it. And boy, were the lawyers wrong. By about 4 times. The cost estimate that they got in the boardroom versus what they ended up paying out for the breach. Yay corporate lawyers, huh? Yeah. Fuckers. Well, I mean, they just wanted the hours of work added on at the end when they had to then deal with it. Job security. Right? What else could that have possibly been? Oh my god. How is it going, Entropy Command? Just talking about all kinds of fun stuff today. Went on a rant about Geordie LaForge hosting Jeopardy and why that's not a thing yet. Chat, what do you guys have for us? You've got Kirtaner obviously in a state. I don't know that it's a suggestive one, as this isn't oxygen problems. This is upset stomach problems. But what questions do you have for him? What do you got? When we end the stream, we're gonna go for the Brent Spinner cameo, definitely. We're gonna go for the the game stream and raid Kurt. You know, I have this thing with Brent, with the actor who played Data, that I know it's not his fault. But for anyone who doesn't know, the reason that TNG was actually canceled, or like they wound down and had a final season and went on to movies when they did, was because the makeup that they were using to make Data look like Data was actually starting to cause Brent medical issues. And if he had gone another season or two with it, they said it was going to be, you know, lifelong lasting problems. But if they stopped now, you know, he would recover from them.
They could have written their way out of it.
I mean, you know, send him off on some long, you know, missions about, you know, his family or something. That had him only in every 5th episode or something, right? Like, you know,
they had the whole emotion ship thing. You know, they could have maybe
they had his
wanted
father,
to have a more realistic skin tone.
His brother came back like 3 times. Lore.
Maybe he went on a tanning bed. You know, it's all kinds of ways they could have written.
Yeah, I mean, I think at that point though, once they had a good enough reason for them to call it, they were like, it's time to go on to movies. Maybe it was one of those things. But yeah, if anyone was kind of wondering, it was literally just that he was getting sick from the makeup, and they hadn't come up with anything that looked exactly like it enough, and that wouldn't be called out quickly by fans, that was safe. And for me, I would have said, you know, yeah, like Chad's right. Right, him getting like another finding from his father, you know, and he finds new skin or something. I don't know. He found the emotion chip, right? So like whatever. It's
a good excuse for them to wind it down, considering they were already going full steam ahead on Deep Space Nine at that point.
Yeah, and by the way, I mean, I'm sure there I'll get some for this, but Deep Space Nine, by far, orders of magnitude, the best Star Trek series. Period.
My man.
Period. Yes, TNG is second.
After it finds its footing after the first goofy season.
Oh well, yeah. There's like 6 episodes where you're like, I don't know yet. But if you stop watching for those first few and you don't go through, no. DS9 is the best Star Trek series by far. And then
Absolutely.
I would put TNG definitely second. But
Gul
yeah.
Dukat is a treasure.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one of my favorite characters in the whole damn universe. I mean, I love, and you realize what kind of a person he is and all the regrets he has, but you still, in the end, kind of have questions about his actual motives and who he's really working for. And I love that about the character.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Oh God, Doxy. Oh. And here I was in love with you. Oh. Doxy has just mentioned a TV show that supposedly existed, but I've never seen it. I never will, because it doesn't exist, because it never happened.
What are we talking about? Talking about something that was called Enterprise, or are we talking about Voyager?
That second thing that never happened, that doesn't exist, that isn't canon.
No, you see, it actually, they kind of fucked themselves with the finale, because they really kind of painted themselves into a corner of was the entire series just Commander Riker on the holodeck this whole time?
Right. And yes, the latest follower up there is correct, because Kurt just followed. He was already subbed, but he hadn't actually hit the follow button too.
Apparently.
You know, here's the thing about that horrible show. I feel like it's like fucking like Harry Potter and Voldemort, like he who should not be named, you know. Like fucking Voyager. All right, you know, people don't remember this, but early in season 2, they start hinting for a couple episodes, and they never outright just fucking lay it out. But they hint at the fact that Captain Janeway actually knew that this was going to happen, and that she was in on the accident, and them ending up way the fuck out there. And then they got a backlash, and then it disappeared. Like, that part of the storyline was over. But the fact that they even hinted at it, I was done. I was like, out. I'm just, no.
Janeway is a is basically a war criminal by the end of Voyager.
Yeah, I mean,
And also basically handed the Borg Collective all of this fucking technology.
yeah,
Thanks.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that I do not. I will never watch an episode of that again. And I do not believe it to be canon, and I do not talk about that show any more than to say that I will not. Fuck that. And yes,
Threshold. If you want Best of Trek, Threshold, the one where they go trans warp whatever, and then start turning into lizard people.
yes.
Oh my god.
And you know,
Riveting television right there.
I was on, like, I was connected to the internet and networks and all the other fun stuff while TNT was still on Usenet. And so I was there when I don't know how many people in chat here, you know Usenet or know, like the format of a Usenet, but alt.will.wheaton.die was one of the things you could actually chat in on Usenet way back when, while the show was still running.
Star Trek 4 Save the Whales is indeed.
Oh yeah, it's their best movie. But yeah,
if you want the serious
wonderful.
Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
If you're just in it for a good fucking time, no, Star Trek 4.
Well, thanks, Homing. What I actually put some effort into
Star
this.
Trek 5 never happened, and the TNG movies are well,
they're okay.
First Contact is the only one that almost carries its weight.
They're
but
okay.
Inserts its own problems into the canonical structure.
Indeed. How we got on Star Trek, I don't know, but as you can tell, big fan. Oh yeah, it was about Geordi, because I was talking about LeVar Burton. There we go. And we're back. Yeah, so I don't know. Again, I will say DS9, best ever. So, for people who didn't see it, you can look it up, but one of the people out there working on high-end video stuff came up with a machine learning trained algorithm that would upscale DS9 to 4K. And so as not to piss too many people off who own the content, like Paramount and whatnot, they only did the intro, but you can watch it on YouTube, the 4K DS9 opening, and you can see how good the machine upscaled it. You cannot tell that it wasn't shot in 4K. And we all did a petition and begged them to please come grab this person and let him do that, and then release us like Blu-ray quality freaking DS9. And never went anywhere, but you can still go watch the opening, and you can see it there's a side-by-side one where you can see the quality. It looks like it was shot in Ultra HD. It's fucking amazing. We are
getting to the point where people can just do it themselves at home.
He did that at home.
It is. Like I know, I'm saying like the layers can just go and feed any old piece of television media or whatever the fuck, and get out a very convincing remaster.
Yeah, I mean, I really hoped he went the way of like the Star Wars fans who have done the 4K rebuilds and just did it and said fuck it to the people who own this. You're not giving us proper ones. But the 4K remaster, the proper 4K remasters, direct from original theater film for Star Wars are awesome too. They're literally named like 4K 77, 4K 80, and 4K 84, I think, or 4K 83 for the years that they came out. But they were definitely they are amazing. They took real copies of the theater films and then audio. Some of the audio is from the Laserdisc versions that came out. There were still original cuts, and they just kind of put it all together and made like proper, full freaking quality theatrical release 4Ks. And they do the math and they do these whole write-ups, and just the stills they took for every single frame of Empire was 138 terabytes.
Holy shit.
Because every single frame had to be remastered one at a time, and they needed a full 4K of every single frame at full quality direct from the film. That's crazy.
Oh man, that is crazy. That is a shit
So the effort is insane. Insane. And they even said, like, they've said it a couple times in different chats and on, like, the different forums for Star Wars fans. If the remnants of Lucasfilm now hiding out over at freaking, Disney ever came to us and said, that's our content, and we just won't say it came from you and say we remastered it and then we're going to put it out, they would be happy if it went out through the proper channel so everyone saw it. So, Disney, you just got a bunch of free labor. Give us the good copy.
It's never going to happen.
No, never. Their lawyers will say there are 100 reasons why we can't do that. But what was interesting is if you like this type of stuff, and you follow the stories of it, like, they had to find, like, the different types of film, like, there's Kodak film, there's Fuji film. Well, it turns out there's one specific pressing of, like, Empire that's, like, on Fuji film, and that's the exact same as the one that was on Kodak and a few of the other different types of film, but that's like the second best. And then there's one that's on specifically Eastman before it was Eastman Kodak labeled film, and that one is the holy grail, but there are only 2 known full copies of, like, that film. It's like that. Like, they went to that level, and then they found one, someone in Spain who had the fucking Eastman, and someone in, like, Brazil who had the other one, like, hiding in private collections because you're not allowed to own these things.
This sounds as convoluted as all the Blade Runner cuts.
Right? And they pulled those together to get their still frames. Like, it's just crazy watching the amount of work they put into it. I really wish that Paramount would have stepped up and said, that looks awesome, let's DS9 4K now. But they did not, and that upsets me. Maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day when they get tired of whatever the hell Picard is in Discovery.
I don't hate Picard. I did the show. I mean,
I have not. I've been scared, actually.
I think you would like it personally. I mean, based on what we just talked about, it's not DS9 to me, but it's definitely at near TNG levels in terms of, like, quality of story.
Yeah, and one thing I do know is that the one and only real true Q is coming for the next season.
Yes.
There's only one Q, and that Q.
No, you're not.
Is not QAnon. No, that's John Delancey.
Damn straight.
Period.
Damn straight.
Fuck everyone for the last handful of years of this Q bullshit. Just wow. You know how many times I've had people ask me if it has anything to do with Star Trek, and I would have to just shake my fucking head.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
Pain.
You, I still think, is
like,
one of the best characters. And I also think that Riker made the biggest mistake of anyone in the entirety of the Star Trek universe when he turned down his offer to become Q. Because at that point, fuck it, you can go do so much. Like, the amount of good...
The Q Continuum
the amount of good he could have done.
QAnon. Tell you what.
The amount of work he could have done if he had taken that offer there. And we never got any real finalization of the story of Wesley, right? Wesley Crusher becomes, like, some super being. Turns out that he is some super being and control time and shit. And some, like, nearly Native American type comes and takes him away to go do magical shit. And then Wesley's kind of gone. Like, what?
Yeah, they really fucked up his character with that one.
I mean, I liked all the interesting stuff they were trying to do, but they definitely just kind of said, this is how we get him out. Yeah, you're gone.
Oh, man.
Good time.
It's like they wanted him to go out in an insufferable note.
Yeah, like they were listening to that Usenet alt.wesley.crusher.die. Man, did they hate Wesley Crusher. Oh my god, they would go on for days arguing about how bad an episode was if it focused on him. Like the one where he was drunk and, like, took over the ship and shit. Like, that one was weeks of yelling at and they were yelling at each other about how bad it was. Like, you don't hate him as much as I do. It was quite funny. Because I was there because I liked him
around. I would rather they kept Wesley around as the punching bag than let that rest on O'Brien.
Yeah.
Because holy shit, that dude gets
Whew.
that dude gets shafted throughout multiple Star Trek series.
Yeah. Then he gets sent out to the edge of the universe. Like, you're going way over there. Go to DS9.
Just like the one episode where
Pulaski was worse.
Where he's in that mind prison where he thinks that he's in prison for a couple of decades, but it's really just an implanted memory, and then he has PTSD from it and almost commits suicide. It's like, goddamn, dude cannot catch a fucking break.
No, not at all, man. Oh my god. But I love the character, and he was one of the few characters that they fleshed out a proper family for.
Yep.
And that was nice. That was nice. Yeah, no, Pulaski sucked.
I was glad that they did that for Worf, and they did that for O'Brien.
Yep. No, O'Brien must suffer. Someone must be sacrificed. Yeah. Good times.
Every time you saw an episode getting ready to focus on O'Brien, you were just like, oh no.
Oh, it turns out we're all Trek nerds. I love it. Yes. Yeah.
I would not want it any other fucking way.
Right?
When he had his molars removed for identification.
Oh, right.
When his daughter Molly goes into a fucking a time vortex and comes out a wild feral adult, and he has no idea what the fuck. Like, there are just so many instances. Him and Julian getting poisoned on a planet and nearly fucking dying. It's just the tip of the fucking iceberg with the man. Like, holy shit.
I don't know. Definitely TNG is one of my favorite shows of all time, but if I'm choosing from that universe, DS9. Nothing.
There are 4 lights!
Right? Yes. By far, DS9.
It's a fake!
That whole entire thing. Yeah.
Bajoran workers. There's so many fucking moments I like throughout DS9, which are just absolute hilarity, but also like, damn, that's fucked up.
I don't know what it is, but I just had this sudden urge to eat cake, and I don't have any. And I think it had something to do with you bringing up the Bajorans and the Bajoran workers.
I was evoking the episode where they accidentally trip a security system in DS9 that makes it. The station locks itself down, thinking that there's a Bajoran revolt.
Yep.
And all of these prefab clips of Ducat just keep playing.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, Cole Meany definitely better actor than he's been given credit for.
Yes.
So what else
Jeffrey
do people
Combs
want to talk about?
Jeffrey Combs is a fucking legend.
Yeah.
I'll just say. If you want to go with recurring guest actors.
Yep.
Throughout DS9's run. Man, oh man. I swear he's practically half the cast. All right. We're enough with the Trek talk. Anything else?
Yeah, what else do you guys want to talk about?
Oh, and by the way, Esri ruined DS9. The whole last season was a shame.
I don't know what the whole last season was, but it was, yeah, it fell apart at the end.
The whole Jadzia and Worf arc, like, and all of a sudden they have to write her off because she wants to go and do some shitty sitcom. Like, come on. This is bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. It feels like that.
Ugh.
It's bad.
Well, yeah, I mean, Combs, like, a lot of people don't realize, but, like, Combs didn't just play one character. Combs was, like, 8 or 9 or 10 or something, like, different characters in the damn Star Trek universe. Like, Jeffrey freaking Combs was awesome.
Mm-hmm. All the Wayun clones.
So, yeah, no, the Ferengi were very problematic. Very.
At least they constantly remind you that they are indeed very problematic, and none of the shit that they do is okay.
And they laugh about it, and they understand that in your backwards culture.
Quark's mom is fucking incredible.
Oh yeah, she was a badass.
Absolutely, like that feminist icon right there.
Yeah, right. Quark is also still one of my favorite characters, though. Like, just you knew who Quark was, and you knew what was coming.
Quark and Odo were the fucking like.
Yeah.
You half expected them to just start making out at one point.
You really did. You really did. Like they needed each other. Neither of them would have been happy on that station ever without the other being there. They, Ugh. So, yeah, chat. Are we going on about anything else? I mean, we covered all the stuff I wanted to talk about tonight, but I think it's time for Kurtz to start gaming. When we go over to that, what are you gonna play?
I don't know. I was gonna peruse at my outstanding list and maybe kind of workshop it with people, figure it out on the fly.
I got the first half of my setup so I can start to stream some Minecraft working over the weekend. I think by end of day tomorrow I'll have it actually set up to where it's going into OBS and like the audio from it comes over and all the other fun stuff.
We will exchange notes, and I'll make sure that your streaming environment is all tippy top.
Yes. Remember, this guy's actually better at that than I am. But I took your notes already. Like, I've got OneCast, I've got it connected. Although it did do that, I had to try and connect it to my Xbox like 5 times before it finally connected. But I've got a used old Xbox, so probably on that end, not OneCast's. But now it's connected and it works. And
actually, I have to stop relying on OneCast shit and actually go and pull up my my capture box, because I have a 4K capture card that I'm not using because I don't know.
What's wrong with OneCast though? I mean, it works.
It works, but I can't play Tetris Effect while using it because there's an actual licensing issue.
Oh boy.
Yeah, in-home streaming
so it
is
says
not allowed for Tetris Effect.
Okay, that's some bullshit.
But
that would work if you had like one of the HDMI capture cards that you can get.
Which I have.
There you go.
I have a box I have a machine sitting downstairs. It's basically just a video capture box. It's got 2 HDMI capture cards sitting in it. Like I have an Intensity Pro.
There you go.
And I have a Live Gamer 4K that I'm not using for no reason.
Well, I mean, other than the time and focus to actually get it done.
Well, it's just at this point, it's just carrying the fucking box up here and going and juggling some cables.
All right, everyone. So,
all right, I'm going to shut my camera feed off.
He's going to start working on getting his set up. He'll tell us when it's ready, and we'll hit the raid buttons. Like, subscribe, follow all the words I'm supposed to say here. Cheer, hype train, I don't know, bits. Is that a thing? Let's go.
Come chill, come shit post.
Yeah, right. We have all the fun stuff here. There's a tip thing. Money helps me eat. Although, I mean, we reached a level 5, like, hype train during the pregame here, so, like, I've got nothing to argue about tonight. That was amazing. I love you guys. Chat is awesome here. And surprisingly, most of my headache has gone away while on the show, which I thought it was only going to get worse.
My queasiness is starting to subside. I'm not out of the woods yet, and I'm still feeling like my extremities are tingling in that uncomfortable way.
Let's hope you get there.
Yeah.
A little more water.
Yeah.
All right, you're gonna kill camera.
I'm still gonna be on mic. I gotta kill my camera feed so I can swap applications here.
Yeah, we definitely need to come up with a name for the Friday night shows.
Yeah.
So Doxy can get it on the graphics. Yeah, show 50, halfway to 100. Here we are, still going.
When are you going to apply for partner?
Well, I have once, but they said that my averages were skewed too much to single episodes, where like I would have like 5 episodes at 30 people, and then 2 episodes that hit 1,000, and that they wanted a more steady average before they would give it to me. So I've got to get my average up but now here's where that's fucking stupid, because they use the word average, and my average was above 75. So like, if you don't want it to be an average, then don't tell me average. Say every show needs to be above that before we give it to you. I don't know. But we'll get there. More subs, more tips, more follows, all that stuff will help me be able to continue to put more time into this, and maybe we'll get there. Getting to partner means we could also do the, if we both get there, we could do the squad stream thing, the team stream, where we both get to be on each other's thing, but also on our own live one.
Yeah. Give us
Thanks,
all the
Doxy.
subs, give us the follows. Just help us reach partner, please, both of us.
Absolutely, yeah. Dude, Kurt, with those big long streams is just crushing it with the subs. Is already caught up in subs and followers with me easily. And I think 48-hour streams will do that. So and I think that's largely in part thanks to a lot of the chatters who are here right now. So thank all of you for that.
Absolutely.
We'll be talking a little more about what's coming up for Kurt on Friday, as a lot of things are coming over the next month. But for now, we're just going to get into some gaming. If anyone has any ideas or things you think he should be gaming, I'm sure he's up for some suggestions. Yeah, if I can get any of the Minecraft audience, I mean, that'd be freaking just insanity. I mean, those people, man, like, they have millions of followers. Like, the freaking Dream and Technoblade audience combined is, like, isn't that over 20 million at this point or something? It is absolute craziness how large that is. We are building some fun stuff on the server. Again, for anyone who wants to come join us and have fun on our Minecraft server, we run Bedrock. And that means we run the version that runs on Windows 10, consoles, mobile, Pocket Edition. And the domain is espionage.io.
Yep, and I definitely need to start making myself a nuisance.
Ah, no, man, you are going to enjoy this when it comes to, like, building out, like, all these machines and whatnot. Like, sometimes, they almost look a little, sick, right? So, like, my favorite, thing that I have built right now is an iron farm, right?
Yeah.
So in villages, they normally aren't walled in and whatnot. So like the naturally generated ones that are part of the world that its world generator just generates, and they're full of villagers. And mobs, the things like the zombies and all the other baddies, the skeletons and whatnot, can spawn and get into the villages and hurt the villagers. So one of the mechanics they came up with was a defender, a golem, and it's called the Iron Golem, right? And if there's a certain number of villagers nearby, and you're within the boundaries of a village that the game has decided this area of blocks is a village, which it decides based on how many villagers have, like, attached to a bed or something, so they sleep at night, then it'll spawn an Iron Golem. And if you kill the Iron Golem, which, I mean, they're nice guys, they're there to help. It's kind of like they're the defender of the villagers. Why are you killing the thing? But if you kill the thing, it drops multiple pieces of iron, which you can then use. It's valuable. So I have a room that is completely closed in, that has a bunch of beds at the top of the room, and then a bunch of villagers basically walled into the wall so they can't get out. And they surround all the beds, and there's just enough room inside that if an iron golem's going to appear in the world, it appears right in the middle of it. And then there's a killing machine there that just kills the damn thing. And so the good guy keeps appearing and dying, like, every minute, like, over and over and over. I just keep killing these bastard iron golems that are supposed to be the good guys. And at first you look at it and it's like, that's kind of sick, actually. That's like this game is mostly played by like, young teenagers and shit. But then I need the iron, so fuck it.
Okay, I think I am about ready to swap over now.
Right? It is definitely a powerful metaphor. Like, half of the machines I have built are to slaughter things that don't really deserve it.
Okay, if you want to, let's get this raid on the road.
Let's do this thing, everybody. All right, so I am going to hit the raid button.